Welcome to History with Tim, where we explore the stories, struggles, and sacrifices that have shaped our world. Today we delve into one of the most celebrated and storied units of the American Civil War, an immigrant force whose bravery and resilience captured the imagination of both friend and foe. This is the story of the Irish Brigade, a unit that fought for their adopted home in the Union Army, bringing with them the fierce pride and cultural identity of their Irish heritage. The American Civil War was not just a conflict between North and South. It was a battleground for the ideals of freedom, unity, and the fight against oppression. For tens of thousands of Irish immigrants who had fled famine and persecution in their homeland, the war presented more than just a struggle to preserve the Union. It was a chance to prove their loyalty to the United States, a country that had offered them refuge during a time of unimaginable hardship. Many of these Irishmen had experienced poverty and discrimination in their new cities, like New York and Boston. They often found themselves in the lowest rungs of American society, struggling to find work and fighting for recognition in a nation still wary of large immigrant populations. Yet despite these challenges, Irish immigrants were determined to show that they could be loyal citizens and brave soldiers. The Irish Brigade was born from this fiery spirit, and with it, a desire to prove their worth on the battlefield. The brigade was more than just a military unit. It was a symbol of Irish identity and pride in America. When the call to arms rang out in 1861, thousands of Irishmen stepped forward, ready to fight for their new nation. Many were motivated by a deep sense of duty, not just to the Union, but to Ireland itself, which remained under British rule. In their minds, the fight for the Union was parallel to the struggle for freedom in their own homeland. Among these who led the call to arms was Thomas Francis Meagher, a charismatic Irish revolutionary who had once fought for Ireland's independence before being exiled to the United States. Meagher had dreamed of leading Irishmen into battle under the green flags of their homeland, and the American Civil War provided him with that very opportunity. He became the heart and soul of the Irish Brigade, inspiring thousands of Irish Americans to join the fight. The Irish Brigade was composed of regiments from New York, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania, each one filled with Irish immigrants eager to prove their mettle. The 63rd, 69th, and 88th New York Infantry Regiments formed the core of the brigade, while the 28th Mass and the 116th Pennsylvania later joined their ranks. These units, under Meagher's passionate leadership, became known for their fierce loyalty, unmatched bravery, and a willingness to fight against overwhelming odds. In addition to the green flags Irish Brigade carried into battle, their uniforms and spirit were deeply tied to Irish culture. Before every engagement, the brigade would hear Mass and say their prayers, asking for God's protection. Their devotion to both faith and country became part of the mythos surrounding the unit, endearing them not just to their fellow soldiers, but also to the Union High Command. But as we'll see in this video, their story is one of both great triumph and unimaginable sacrifice. The Irish Brigade fought in some of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War: Bull Run, Antietam, Fredericksburg, and Gettysburg. Time and again, they faced impossible odds, often being called upon to attack some of the most heavily fortified positions in the war. Their losses were staggering, but their bravery was legendary. General Robert E. Lee himself is said to have remarked upon their courage, even as they stood against his Confederate forces. Throughout this video, we'll follow the Irish Brigade's journey from their recruitment in 1861 to the harrowing battles that would test their endurance. We'll explore their actions on the battlefields, their leaders, and the role they played in shaping not just the outcome of the war, but also the identity of Irish Americans for generations to come. Through their courage, the Irish Brigade challenged the prejudice they faced in America, earning a reputation as some of the most elite troops in the Union Army. Yet they also paid a heavy price. as the bodies of their fallen comrades littered battlefields from Virginia to Pennsylvania. Their story is one of unbreakable spirit, fiery, fierce loyalty, and the hope that by shedding their blood for the Union, they might one day see their own homeland free. As we journey through the history of the Irish Brigade, we'll highlight their key battles, hear the voices of those who fought alongside them, and reflect on the legacy left behind. This is the story of the Irish Brigade, a story of immigrants, soldiers, and heroes. Stay with us as we unravel the history of this remarkable unit, battle by battle, and discover why they are remembered today as one of the most courageous forces in the American Civil War. The story of the Irish Brigade begins in the tumultuous period of the 1860s, a time of profound change and conflict in both Ireland and the United States. As the American Civil War erupted, a significant wave of Irish immigrants, many of whom had fled the Great Famine in Ireland, found themselves at the crossroads. They had come to America seeking a fresh start, but now they were faced with a new challenge: the Civil War. The Great Famine, which began in 1845, devastated Ireland, leading to mass immigration. Over 1 million people left their homeland, many arriving in the United States with little more than the clothes on their back. They settled in burgeoning urban areas like New York, Boston, and Philadelphia, where they encountered harsh living conditions and deep-seated prejudice. Despite their struggles, these immigrants remained resilient, determined to build a new life for themselves and their families. By the time the Civil War broke out in 1861, the Irish immigrants had formed a vibrant community in these cities, often working in grueling and low-paying jobs. They faced significant discrimination, often being viewed with suspicion by native-born Americans who saw them as a threat to job security and social stability. Yet in the face of such adversity, many Irish immigrants were eager to prove their loyalty and contribute to their new country. One of the leading figures in this movement was Michael Cochran, an Irish-born soldier and former leader of the 69th New York State Militia. Cochran had built a reputation as a fearless leader and vocal advocate for Irish-American rights. In 1861, he played a crucial role in rallying Irish immigrants to the Union cause. Despite eventual capture and imprisonment by the Confederates, Cochran's efforts were instrumental in galvanizing the Irish community. With the outbreak of the Civil War, the Union Army needed more troops, and the Irish community responded. The 69th New York, which Cochran had previously commanded, was one of the first Irish regiments to volunteer. Their bravery and cohesion during early battles earned them respect and recognition, setting the stage for the formation of the Irish Brigade. The formal creation of the Irish Brigade came in August of 1861, spearheaded by Thomas Francis Meagher. Meagher, an Irish revolutionary who had fought for Irish independence, found himself in America following a dramatic escape from British authorities. In the U.S., he saw the American Civil War as an opportunity to lead Irishmen into battle under the banner of their homeland. Meagher's vision was to form a brigade composed entirely of Irish immigrants, fighting not just for the Union, but also for their own pride and recognition. He successfully recruited several regiments, including the 63rd New York, 69th New York, and 88th New York, as well as the 28th Massachusetts and the 116th Pennsylvania. These regiments would become the core of the Irish Brigade. The Irish Brigade's formation was marked by a sense of unity and cultural pride. Their uniforms featured distinctive green sashes and shamrock insignia, which became symbols of the Irish heritage and unwavering spirit. Their green flags, emblazoned with the Irish harp and shamrocks, were a visible testament to their identity and determination. As they prepared to head into battle, the Irish Brigade was imbued with a deep sense of purpose. For many of these men, the war was not just about fighting for the Union. It was also about proving their loyalty to their new country and demonstrating that the Irish immigrants were just as dedicated and capable as any other American soldiers. The brigade's early preparation included rigorous drills and training, often conducted in harsh and demanding conditions of the time. Despite the challenges, the Irish Brigade quickly earned a reputation for their discipline, fighting spirit, and unwavering resolve. Their initial engagements would set the stage and their legendary status in the annals of the American Civil War history. As we continue this journey, we'll explore how these men of the Irish Brigade faced their first battles, the trials they endured, and the legacy they forged on the battlefield. The story of the Irish Brigade is not just a tale of military prowess, but also of cultural pride, perseverance, and the quest of honor and equality. The Irish's entry into the war was marked by its involvement in the First Battle of Bull Run, fought on July 21st, 1861. This battle, the first major clash of the war, was a test of the 69th's resolve and marked their initial foray into combat. At Bull Run, Cochrane's 69th New York, under the command of Brigadier General William Tecumseh Sherman, was initially held in reserve. While their direct involvement was limited, the battle's chaos and the disorderly retreat of the Union forces exposed the Irish to the brutal realities of war. The 69th's experiences here was formative, offering early lessons in the challenges they would face in future engagements. Although the Irish did not see heavy action at Bull Run, the experience was significant in shaping their understanding of warfare. The disorganization and loss highlighted the need for improved coordination and strategy, lessons that would be applied in subsequent battles. The Peninsula Campaign, the first time the Irish will unite as a brigade, a series of battles fought from March to July 1862, was a critical phase in the American Civil War and a significant period for the Irish Brigade. The campaign aimed to capture the Confederate capital of Richmond by advancing up the Virginia Peninsula between the York and James Rivers. The Irish Brigade, now under the command of Brigadier General Thomas Francis Meagher, was part of the Union Army's effort to seize control of the peninsula. The campaign began with the Union Army, led by Major General George B. McClellan, landing on the peninsula and moving towards Richmond. The brigade's first significant engagement during the Peninsula Campaign occurred at the Battle of Williamsburg on May 5, 1862. At Williamsburg, the Irish Brigade played a crucial role in the Union effort to push back Confederate forces under General James Longstreet. At Williamsburg, the Irish Brigade was instrumental in pressing the Confederate defenses. The brigade's advance was marked by fierce fighting as they encountered Confederate resistance in the dense woods and rugged terrain. Their bravery and determination were evident as they engaged in close combat, pushing forward despite heavy opposition. An officer in their division would go on to say, "In the thick of the fight, the Irish Brigade advanced with a bravery that would become their hallmark." Following Williamsburg, the Irish Brigade continued to participate in key battles during the Peninsula Campaign, including the Battle of Fair Oaks, Seven Pines, on May 31st to June 1st, 1862. At Fair Oaks, the brigade faced intense fighting as they engaged Confederate troops in another critical encounter. The Battle of Fair Oaks was a hard-fought engagement where the Irish Brigade's resilience was again put to the test. The brigade held its position under heavy fire, demonstrating their unwavering commitment to the Union cause. Historians would say the Irish Brigade's performance at Fair Oaks was a testament to their grit and tenacity in the face of adversity. The culmination of the Peninsula Campaign came with the 7 Days Battle, a series of engagements fought from June 25th to July 1st, 1862. During these battles, the Irish Brigade faced continuous combat as the Union Army attempted to capture Richmond. The brigade's involvement in the 7 Days Battle was marked by heavy fighting and significant casualties. The 7 Days Battle tested the brigade's endurance as they fought through a series of grueling engagements. Despite their valiant efforts, the Union Army was ultimately forced to retreat, and the campaign ended without achieving its primary goal. A Union officer reflecting on 7 days would say, "Throughout the 7 Days Battle, the Irish Brigade exhibited a level of courage and resilience that was both inspiring and formidable." The Peninsula Campaign was a defining period for the Irish Brigade. Their participation in these battles demonstrated their bravery and solidified their reputation as a unit of exceptional valor. The campaign's trials were a precursor to the challenges and achievements that they would define the brigade's. On September 17, 1862, the Irish Brigade faced one of its most significant trials at the Battle of Antietam. A pivotal clash in the Civil War and the bloodiest single day in American history. The battle was not just a test of military strength, but also a trial of the brigade's resilience and courage. The brigade, still commanded by Brigadier General Thomas Francis Marr, was stationed near the sunken road, also known as Blay Lane. The area became a central battleground where the Union and Confederate forces clashed with ferocious intensity. The sunken road was a natural defensive position, offering a sunken trench-like protection for the Confederate soldiers. The terrain was a critical factor in the brutal fighting that unfolded. As the battle progressed, the Irish Brigade was ordered to charge this formidable position, facing a wall of Confederate firepower. The charge was a dramatic and desperate attempt to break through the Confederate defenses. The Irish Brigade, known for its distinctive green flags and shamrock insignias, advanced with a combination of bravery and determination. The brigade's attack was fierce and direct, aimed at dislodging the Confederates from their stronghold. Despite their bravery, the brigade's efforts were met with stiff resistance. The fighting in the Bloody Lane was chaotic in close quarters, with heavy casualties on both sides. The Irish Brigade's assault was ultimately repulsed, but their bravery in the face of such formidable defenses was notable. A Union soldier at Antietam would say, "The Irish Brigade charged with unmatched courage, a testament to their commitment and fighting spirit." By the end of the day, the Battle of Antietam had claimed over 22,000 casualties, making it one of the bloodiest conflicts in American history. The Irish Brigade's losses were substantial, with many men killed or wounded. Their performance at Antietam was both a demonstration of their valor and a sobering reminder of war's brutal reality. The engagement at Antietam cemented the brigade's reputation for courage despite the heavy toll it took. Their actions were widely recognized, and sacrifice of their soldiers became a poignant symbol of their dedication to the Union cause. Just a few months after Antietam, the Irish Brigade faced another major challenge at the Battle of Fredericksburg, fought from December 11th to 15th, 1862. The battle was marked by the brutal frontal assaults against well-entrenched Confederate positions on Marye's Heights. Marye's Heights, a ridge on the southern side of Fredericksburg, was heavily fortified by the Confederate forces. The Union plan involved multiple frontal assaults against these strong defenses, which included artillery and infantry positions behind a stone wall and in prepared trenches. The Irish Brigade, under the command of Brigadier General Thomas Francis Marr, was tasked with leading one of these assaults. The brigade's objective was to penetrate the Confederate defenses and create a breakthrough. The assault began on the afternoon of December 13th, with the Irish Brigade charging up the slopes towards the stone wall. The brigade advance was marked by intense fighting. As they climbed the heights, they faced withering fire from Confederate artillery and riflemen. Despite their determination and valor, the assault was met with severe resistance. The brigade soldiers valiantly fought, but were forced to retreat after sustaining heavy casualties. An onlooking staff officer would say, "The Irish Brigade fought with a heroism that would be remembered for generations, charging into the heart of danger with unmatched bravery." The Irish Brigade's losses at Fredericksburg were devastating. Out of approximately 1,500 men, the brigade suffered over 600 casualties, including many killed or severely wounded. The scales of the casualties was a stark reminder of the battle's ferocity and the high cost of war. The bravery displayed by the Irish Brigade at Fredericksburg became a symbol of their unyielding spirit. Despite the defeat, their sacrifice was honored and remembered as a testament to their courage and dedication. The experience of the Irish Brigade at Antietam and Fredericksburg significantly shaped their legacy. Their courage in these early battles set a high standard of valor and perseverance, and their sacrifice became a powerful symbol of their commitment to the Union. The Irish Brigade's legacy is a story of extraordinary bravery and sacrifice, a testament to their courage and their unwavering dedication to their new homeland, historians would say. As we continue to explore the Irish Brigade's journey, we will see how their courage and dedication continue to influence their path through the subsequent battles, the lessons learned, and the sacrifices made during these early engagements forced a legacy that will be remembered throughout the war and beyond. The story of the Irish Brigade is not just about their military exploits, but also about their role in shaping the identity of Irish Americans and their place in the broader narrative of American history. The Battle of Chancellorsville, fought from April 30th to May 6, 1863, was a pivotal confrontation in the American Civil War and a significant episode for the Irish Brigade. This battle, often hailed as Robert E. Lee's greatest victory, involved daring tactics and intense combat. The Irish Brigade, commanded by Colonel Patrick Kelly after the wounding of Brigadier General Thomas Francis Meagher, was engaged in fierce combat at Chancellorsville. Kelly, known for his leadership and bravery, took command during this crucial battle. On May 3rd, the brigade was involved in fighting around the Union lines as Confederate forces launched multiple assaults. The dense woods and challenging terrain of Chancellorsville added to the complexity of the battle. Colonel Kelly led the brigade with unwavering determination as they faced Confederate attacks. Despite the confusion and difficult conditions, the brigade's performance was marked by its courage and tenacity. The brigade was tasked with holding key positions against Confederate advances, demonstrating remarkable resilience even as they were subjected to heavy fire and repeated assaults. The Irish Brigade's valor at Chancellorsville, under Colonel Kelly's command, exemplified their steadfast spirit among the chaos of battle, a fellow officer would say of the battle. The Battle of Chancellorsville, while a tactical victory for the Confederates, showcased the brigade's unwavering commitment. Their efforts played a crucial role in the Union strategy, and their bravery was widely recognized. The Battle of Gettysburg, fought from July 1st to 3rd, 1863, was a turning point in the American Civil War and a defining moment for the Irish Brigade under Colonel Patrick Kelly. This battle, often seen as the culmination of the Union's efforts to repel the Confederates' invasion, was marked by intense combat and significant strategic decisions. On July 2nd, the Irish Brigade was positioned around the wheat field, a crucial sector of the Union defenses. The area was a focal point of the battle, with both sides recognizing its strategic importance. The brigade's role was to hold this position against repeated Confederate attacks which were aimed at breaking through the Union lines. Colonel Patrick Kelly, who had taken command of the brigade following the wounding of General Meagher, played a crucial role in the defense. Kelly's leadership was marked by his personal bravery and tactical acumen. Under his command, the Irish Brigade faced intense combat as Confederate forces under Robert E. Lee's command, and including the corps of General James Longstreet, press their attacks. The brigade's position in the wheat field was surrounded by dense woods and uneven ground, creating a chaotic, challenging battlefield. Despite being heavily outnumbered and subjected to relentless assaults, the Irish Brigade held its ground with remarkable determination. One of the most poignant moments of the Irish Brigade's involvement at Gettysburg came during the heavy fighting on July 2nd. As the brigade engaged in fierce combat, the soldiers were inspired by the presence of Father William Corby, a Catholic chaplain in the 88th New York. Father Corby was known for his role in providing spiritual support and comfort to the troops. On July 2nd, amidst the chaos of the battle, he performed an extraordinary act of faith and leadership. With the brigade in the thick of the fighting, Father Corby gave a public absolution to the men, a powerful moment of spiritual solace as they faced harrowing conditions of battle. Father Corby's act of absolution was a deeply moving experience for the brigade. As he raised his hands and recited the prayer, the soldiers were granted a moment of spiritual peace and connection, even as they continued to face the brutal reality of combat. This moment is remembered as one of the most profound spiritual experiences of the American Civil War. Father Corby's absolution provided a moment of profound comfort and unity for the Irish Brigade amidst the trials of Gettysburg, Notre Dame University historian would say. The Irish Brigade's defense of the wheat field was marked by heavy casualties. Despite their valiant efforts, the brigade suffered significant losses, with many soldiers killed or wounded. Their performance at Gettysburg was a testament to their bravery and resolve. Gettysburg historians would go on to say, the Irish Brigade's sacrifice at Gettysburg was a defining moment, reflecting their unyielding commitment to the Union cause. The Irish Brigade's involvement at Chancellorsville and Gettysburg reflects their exceptional courage and dedication. Under Colonel Kelly's leadership and with the spiritual support of Father Corby, the brigade exemplified bravery and commitment in the face of overwhelming odds. The Irish Brigade's legacy is defined by the extraordinary valor and sacrifice, their actions at Gettysburg cementing their place in history. As we reflect the Irish Brigade's contributions during these pivotal battles, we honor their enduring legacy. Their heroism not only shaped the outcome of the American Civil War, but also established their place as icons of bravery and sacrifice. The story of the Irish Brigade, including their gallant stand at Gettysburg and the profound moment of absolution by Father Corby, remains a powerful testament to their valor and dedication. Their legacy continues to inspire and remind us of their remarkable service. After the grueling Battle of Gettysburg, the Irish Brigade continued to serve with distinction as the Civil War progressed into its later stages. Their resilience and dedication were evident as they remained a key component of the Union Army of the Potomac. The brigade faced significant challenges during the Overland Campaign in May of 1864, which influenced the fierce battles of the Wilderness, Spotsylvania Courthouse, and Cold Harbor. The Irish Brigade, enduring heavy losses, demonstrated unwavering bravery and commitment through these grueling engagements. The Siege of Petersburg, starting in June of 1864 and lasting until April of 1865, marked a significant phase of trench warfare. The Irish Brigade was engaged in this prolonged and brutal conflict, tasked with holding crucial positions and contributing to the Union's effort to break the Confederate lines. As the war neared its conclusion, the Irish Brigade was involved in the final campaigns leading up to the surrender of General Robert E. Lee at Appomattox Courthouse in April of 1865. Their final act of valor occurred during these crucial closing months. The brigade's final major engagement was the Battle of Fort Stedman on March 25, 1865. The battle was part of a larger siege of Petersburg and was characterized by a Confederate attack on Union lines. The Irish Brigade, enduring one of the war's final and intense engagements, played a role in repelling the Confederate assault and holding their position. The war's conclusion came with General Lee's surrender at Appomattox Courthouse on April 9, 1865. The Irish Brigade, having endured through years of brutal combat, was part of the victorious Union forces present at this historic moment. Their service was a significant part of the Union's ultimate success. The legacy of the Irish Brigade extends far beyond their remarkable service in the American Civil War. Their valor and sacrifice have left a lasting impact on military traditions and commemoration practices, shaping how we remember and honor those who've served. Military traditions such as ceremonial uniforms and battle honors have been influenced by the Brigade's legacy. Their distinctive uniforms and the use of Celtic crosses in their insignia set a precedent for how military units honor their heritage. This influence is seen in modern ceremonial practices and the continued use of similar symbols in the military regalia. Annual events and ceremonies dedicated to the Irish Brigade continue to celebrate their contributions. Veterans reunions, memorial services, and educational programs ensure that their story remains an integral part of military history. These events often feature reenactments and dramatizations of key battles, providing a vivid reminder of the Brigade's heroism. The Irish Brigade's legacy is also deeply embedded in Irish American culture. Their story has become a symbol of pride and resilience within the Irish American community, celebrated through various cultural events and heritage activities. Cultural celebrations such as parades and festivals often feature elements related to the Irish Brigade. These events serve as a way to honor their service and integrate their history into a broader Irish American cultural narrative. The Brigade's contribution are celebrated through music, dance, and public speeches, reinforcing their importance in the cultural heritage of Irish Americans. Educational programs and museums dedicated to Irish American history frequently include exhibits and presentations about the Irish Brigade. These resources help educate the public about the Brigade's role in American history and ensure that their legacy is preserved for future generations. The Irish Brigade's role in the American historical memory is cemented through the preservation of key battlefields and memorials. The Irish Brigade Monument at Gettysburg stands as a powerful reminder of their sacrifice, attracting visitors and historians alike who seek to understand their impact on history. These memorials have historical sites play a crucial role in keeping the Brigade story alive. They serve as an educational tool and source of inspiration, ensuring that future generations understand and appreciate the significance of the Irish Brigade's contributions. The Irish Brigade's influence extends into popular culture and historical scholarship. Their stories featured in books, documentaries, and films, contributing to a broader understanding of the Civil War and diverse experience of its participants. The Irish Brigade's enduring legacy is a testament to their extraordinary courage and commitment. Their story continues to inspire and resonate not only within Irish American community, but across American society as a whole. As we reflect on the Irish Brigade's legacy, we recognize their profound influence on American military tradition, cultural heritage, and historical memory. Their heroism and dedication continue to be celebrated and remembered, ensuring that their remarkable contributions are never forgotten. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into the remarkable history of the Irish Brigade. Your support means the world to us, and I want to take a moment to express my personal gratitude. As someone with Irish heritage, exploring the legacy of the Irish Brigade holds a special place in my heart. Their bravery and sacrifice are not just historical facts. They are a testament to the courage and resilience of my ancestors. I have immense respect for the Irish Brigade and their contribution to our history. Their story is a powerful reminder of their impact that courage and determination can have. And it has been a privilege to share their legacy with you. Before we wrap up, I'd like to remind you about History with Tim's National Park Preservation Fund. This fund plays a crucial role in supporting and preserving our national parks and historic sites, ensuring that future generations can continue to learn from and appreciate these invaluable treasures. If you'd like to support the important cause, please visit the link in the description below to make a donation. Your contributions help to protect these historic sites and ensure the stories, like the Irish Brigades, continue to be remembered and honored. Thank you once again for your viewership and support. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to History with Tim for more in-depth historical content. Until next time, keep exploring and cherish the rich tapestry of our history. Slán agus Banach. Goodbye and blessings to you all.